Hi, everybody. Lynn Cox here, clinical hypnotherapist. I'm working with more and more women who are overcoming the impacts of both child abuse as well as have after having gotten out of a domestic violence relationship. So I'm coming on to talk about a couple of stories I posted up. I was walking the other day and I saw this bus ad, and I just posted the picture again. I meant to get on yesterday to talk about this, but I just ended up too busy with clients, which is awesome. But the ad says, "My name is Glory. I was 8 then. I'm 50 now." And there's an image of a woman holding a picture frame of I'm assuming her as an 8-year-old. And then the second part of it goes on to say, pardon me, "Child sexual abuse has shattered me. Help adults heal." And it's a fundraising call. So the reason I want to talk about this, and the reason why I also posted up another picture about how about more of this, the Kintsugi picture. So this is the Japanese art of creating something that's been broken and using gold to basically recreate it, and the idea is that it makes an even more beautiful piece of art. And I want to talk about this one in particular because the language that we use and the messages that we hear are very, very important. So in particular, this line, I did take issue with it, and I'm taking it very literally. "Child sexual abuse has shattered me." So what that tells me, if I'm taking it very literally, is that happening to her at the age of 8 has shattered her. Now, I wouldn't deny that it was an extremely painful experience. I wouldn't deny that, when things like this happen to people, it can cause much anguish and pain, PTSD symptoms. A lot of people who are, and I did post this, who are in the prostitution and the pornography industries were also abused as children, particularly sexually abused. It can cause a whole host of devastating impacts if left not healed, or if left not worked on. You know, one of the most horrible things that can happen to a child is being abused in any way, and specifically childhood sexual abuse can be particularly detrimental. But what I didn't like about this message was it was indicating that it has shattered me. That leads me to make the connection that even at 50, she's still shattered. Now, I'm taking this very literally, and I want to also preface this with the fact that I'm familiar with this organization, and I know that they do very good work. So, and I also understand, I've been in the nonprofit sector and I've also been in marketing communications, so I also understand how fundraising works as well as how advertising messages work. You only have so much time, you only have so many words, and you want to, particularly when it's fund development, you want to um, make the maximum emotional impact possible. So I get what they're doing. I think the organization is a fantastic organization and worth supporting. And in particular, this program that they're raising money for is to help adults, adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse get therapy and support so that they can heal. I haven't looked deep into the type of programming that they offer, so I do want to preface it with that. But where this kind of messaging can be so detrimental is if you think about somebody who's in their late teens, early 20s, 30s, they experience childhood sexual abuse, they're suffering the impacts of that, they're suffering the agony, the trauma, maybe the depression, maybe the addiction as a result of that, and they're looking for help, and they're looking for advice, and they're looking for guidance, and they're searching up organizations, and seeing a message like that may have an impact of making them think to themselves, "Oh, there's no hope. There's no hope for me. I'm going to be shattered forever. I'm going to feel like this forever. My life is ruined. My family's ruined." It can cause that. And I mean, I know that there's only so many words that can be used on a bus advertisement. And I know the purpose of this ad. I would have loved to have seen something more to the effect of, I was 8 then, I'm 50 now. Child sexual abuse was shattering, and luckily with help I've recovered or healed. Like some silver lining, because the truth of the matter is one of the most important aspects to really recovering and healing is to be able to shift your perspective of the experience and of the events. And the reason why I put up that Kintsugi picture and that reference is because when people are able to get to a place where they're able to um, basically um, kind of take a different bit of a perspective look at the event itself, and gain a different type of more removed, and I'm kind of moving my hand up higher perspective. Sometimes you can look at things that happen, and you can release the feelings of guilt and shame, and like it was your fault. And you can actually start to, and this may sound a little bit crazy, but it's not, you can actually start to see what in that experience, what gifts were brought to you by that experience. Perhaps it's that you have a greater deal of empathy and care and concern for people. Maybe it's that it's caused you to have a specific career or vocation that you're passionate about. You're committed to the cause. This does happen with a lot of people, and I'm in this line of work for precisely that reason. Perhaps it's given you, greater insight into human nature, and a curiosity about human nature, why people do the things that they do, how people can do the things that they can do. There can be some gifts wrapped up in this. And one of my favorite quotes is from Maya Angelou, and she was a very prolific writer. And she says about this experience, she was sexually abused as a child. And she talks, and this quote of hers says, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." What a fabulous message, and what an amazing perspective. And I think that she truly did do that. And one of her most famous books was inspired by her life experience and events. And there are a wide range of other people who have overcome childhood abuse, childhood sexual abuse. Did you know Ludwig van Beethoven was abused as a child? Gloria Steinem, Harry Rollins, like a lot of great artists and comedians. Who did I see? Chevy Chase. I didn't know. I was actually looking this up. And I do understand that nonprofit organizations are vying for fundraising dollars and doing really important and great work. And I would, anyone who has an interest in this, I would totally suggest looking at Little Warriors in terms of donations and support and volunteerism if you're interested in something like that. But I am very cognizant of the messages that are out there, and there are so many terrible messages about the long-term impacts and the detrimental impacts and PTSD. And I'm not diminishing those, because I work with people to help them overcome those symptoms. I would love to see more discussion around post-traumatic growth, where people are able to kind of have that kintsugi effect, where they are able to recode the meaning of what happened to them, and be able to see it in a different light, and be able to essentially transcend the pain and the sadness and the horror in some cases that it was, and transcend that, because that's what our psychological immune systems are for. And so I would really, really love to see more messages like that. I've talked about this before, but one of the biggest kind of slaps to things that kind of spun me around and totally shifted the way that I saw the world was when a great spiritual teacher who I had back in my 30s said that, and I really admired and respected her, and I still do, and she's still alive with us. When she said to me that, regardless of what happens to somebody, doesn't matter what it is and how horrific it might seem, that nothing can really touch who you are at your very core. So it's getting in touch with that ability to heal, to transcend, to make a different meaning of things. And it's not denying that things happen or stuffing them down. There's a lot of emotions that need to be felt and worked through, largely a reconnection with the body as well is required for this type of healing, because many people who've experienced this can have massive amounts of disassociation as well. So, that was my critique, and I saw it. And I was talking to Rob, my fiance, about it, and he was saying, well, they probably, and I said, I know what they meant to say, and I know what they meant to do, and I understand how that whole world works. However, I would like to see more messages about post-traumatic growth, more people like a Maya Angelou, more of this Kintsugi effect. We all have different things happen to us in our lives, and it is truly the meaning, the interpretation, the meaning, the perspective that we have, and how we change that. That is going to be the best measuring stick of how we are in life, and how we feel in life, and how we feel about ourselves and what we do. And maintaining a victimhood status is never healthy for anybody. There's a lot of those messages out there these days, and it's a no-way ticket. It's a ticket to nowhere, whatever that phrase is. Really, it is. So those are my comments on that. There definitely are many, many, many instances of people who have overcome awful experiences and who have done great. And it's not even about doing great things and being an author or a comedian or an actor. It's just about how you feel about yourself and how you interpret things, and being able to look at where those pains and experiences and cracks were, and then work at that, making an even more beautiful life out of that experience. So that's what I hope for everybody, and I hope you're having a great day. Bye for now.